Hey guys, Davine here, coming at you with this week's exciting new installation in the self-development series of Awesome. This week we'll be covering the topic of meditation, the most ultimate life hack in my own personal opinion. Meditation for me has been a profound gift to my life to create the most change. At one point I was a very reactionary, emotional, and even very violent person. Even more so than I am today. Meditation, for me, it gives me kind of a heads up on the volatile emotional situation that I'll sometimes find myself in. Every day I meditate maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe that's a lot for you. Maybe you're just going to start out with a few minutes. And maybe you already meditate as it is. I'm going to be explaining this in layman terms, assuming that you do not. But if you already have your meditation practice, perhaps this video will help you expand and deepen that practice. Meditation is the practice of becoming present with the moment, and to see, as the Buddha used to say, see things how they are. We spend a lot of life judging things, creating a story behind things. It's not very often that we actually see the true nature and the true reality of our environment or the situation or how it's happening. We constantly have a filter, an emotional filter, a backstory, and that's not always the gravity or the reality of the situation. So meditation helps one achieve what is sometimes referred to as an observer state of consciousness. So becoming the observer, you can literally imagine, here's your story, here's your rationality, here's your emotional body. With meditation, you can actually lift or enlighten yourself up to a state where you're observing that situation. So maybe you're having these thoughts, so-and-so is an asshole, blah, 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 this isn't fair, oh, how could they do this? Instead of becoming absorbed within that story and identifying with that story and actually creating that story because it may not exist, with meditation, you can actually watch that story. A funny example is sometimes when I'm meditating a lot and a situation comes up where I'm emotionally reactive, say I'm around an ex-partner or something and says something that isn't even meant to be taken in a certain way, but because of my past attachment with it, I start to react. Sometimes I'll see, almost like I'm rising above this cloud, this emotional state where it's like, oh, I could say this, or I could react and say this. What is the true nature of this? Maybe sometimes I'll still choose the more immature reactionary state, but the meditation at least gives me a chance to act in the present moment without holding on to that past story. Meditation can be done in a lot of ways. It can be done dancing. It could be done relaxing in nature. The way I'm going to choose to offer to give to you today is a seated meditation based off of Vipassana practice. For those of you who don't know, Vipassana is a 10-day silent meditation retreat that's supposedly built off the teachings of the Buddha. Apparently, quote unquote, the Buddha sat by a tree practicing this specific type of meditation until he achieved a state of enlightenment. That's the story passed down. So the Vipassana meditation will start legs seated, eyes closed. I'll open my eyes now because I like to look at my luscious locks. Breathing out of our nose. We're going to focus on the sensation of the breath coming through our nose on our lip. So something I like to do if I find myself or my mind exceptionally busy or agitated is I like to increase the breath. And you can ask anyone who hangs out with me a lot. I almost annoyingly do it sometimes unconsciously to relax myself. So fully breathing in through our nose, inhaling into the belly, and then the chest. And then exhaling back through our nose, and just focusing on that little sensation, that little breath. Constantly the mind is going to be thinking. We never try not to think. For trying not to think is trying within itself and just plays into the circular illusion. Instead of trying not to think, every time you breathe and a thought comes, use the thought to remind yourself that you're thinking And with that awareness, come back to the simple practice of the breath. So we're always losing ourselves, we're always coming back. The way I like to think of it, it's like our thoughts are writing on the sand, and our breath is like the ocean wave. The mind will always keep writing. We can't try to stop that. That is the nature of the mind. That's its beauty and its challenge of being human. Instead of trying to stop that, simply accept that and allow your breath, audible, full, and deep, to be that ocean wave coming in, washing over the writing in the sand. And exhale, clearing the sand and releasing it back. And meditation for me it's very hit or miss still, although like a muscle, it is something you cultivate and grow over time. Let's be honest, boys, you're not going to get your gain, or girls, boys or girls, you're not going to get those gains if you just go into the gym once a month, once a year. I often have people say, meditation's hard. I have so much trouble meditating. Well, no shit. Do you practice it ever? Because if you don't, yeah, it's a muscle. The mind needs to be cultivated and needs to be worked on. Meditation is something that you can do in 10 seconds. It's something that you could take a minute on, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I invite you to start small if you need to and work up to it. Make it fun, make it attainable. And you'll notice almost immediate benefits. When you're having a hard day and you get frustrated, allow that frustration to trigger a minute or 2 minutes of meditation. If you're really busy when you're getting into the car and you feel yourself in a huge rush and stressed, before you turn those keys in, give it a minute or two and just focus on your breath. You don't have to try to do anything. You don't have to try to do anything. Did I say that twice? Simply allow yourself to be. And instead of getting caught up in the maniacal monkey mind thoughts, just focus on that breath. The mind is always thinking, and the breath is that smooth ocean wave coming in and clearing. I actually really love the sound of the ocean. I like to sleep or meditate with that ocean white noise, even when there's noises around me. Again, it's like the waves come in and push everything out. And if you're really having trouble, just make that breath deeper and deeper, more audible and more audible. Breathing in fully into the stomach, into the chest, and fully back out. You can actually feel your tension melt away and everything release. Even a few minutes. I'll actually meditate up to 3 times, 4 times a day now. And every time I do it, it's phenomenal. So create, cultivate, and nurture this relationship with meditation, and it'll literally make you better at every aspect of life, whatever it is. That ability to be present that you create through meditation and that you really hone through meditation, you can bring that to your job. You'll make more money, you'll make better love, you'll be a better person. For anyone who's interested more in meditation, I teach meditation as well as yoga, personal training too, gains. And I would love to offer you one-on-one classes or group classes. So anyone who's interested via Skype or Vancouver, or even if you just want to email me and shoot me a line and we can talk about it more. Meditation is something that I would like to share with everyone, because I feel like if everyone on the planet could practice that, we would have more compassion, we'd be more harmonious, and we would just live better lives. So it's really a gift that I feel very inspired to share. So may you live a happy, healthy, and awesome lifestyle. Tune in again soon for all the things that shine.